This is Lee with 82 Game and 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. Another video of my playthrough of the Battle of Monmouth. It's a comparison series comparing SPI's game found in Strategy and Tactics number 90. And then GMT's Great Battles of the American Revolution, Volume 5, entitled Monmouth. So I finished the GMT scenario, Lee's advance, and actually played one turn past the scenario set time frame. And so I'm now working through SPI's due to the fact that SPI time is 20 minutes per turn, while GMT's each turn was an hour. So it takes 3 turns on the SPI game. The scale is a lot closer to needed to put my plexiglass down, I guess. It's a lot closer to the action. So, all right, so we just finished the 12 o'clock turn, and we're now on the 12:20 turn. So, let me move this out of the way. We're going to now go to the process. And as you can see, I've changed my camera angle a little bit. Let's pull back a little. There we go. All right. All right, so we have the command phase for the colonials. So they've got to examine their units, determine which are in command and which are placed out of command or isolated, and we place the markers if necessary. Then the player expends activation points from his army leaders to activate brigade leaders and combat units. So we have to roll. I'll go ahead and roll for green. His command. Here it is. So here we've got to roll on this table to find out how many activation points General Lee will have. His performance on the historical battle was not that good. A lot of confusion for the colonials, and not exactly clear on what their orders were. So we rolled a die. I got a 6. Okay, so that means he's going to have 4. A 6 here, right there. 6 means he gets 4 activation points. All right. So, guess I'll just use this one. So I'll set this back here as a reminder. So we take a look at, find out who's in command and who's out of command. And so we have to get in here a little closer so we can see what's going on. All right, so on the colonial left, we've got this unit here that's disordered, part of Dickinson's. Dickinson only has a command range of 1, so this unit stays out of command. Now, Dickinson is here. This unit here is in command. I believe these guys are here. These guys are here. Okay. So then we look a little further down the line. This unit back here, this is Dickinson's, and they're routing and they're out of command. Just put that beside him. Okay, now Wayne has a range of 3. So this unit's in command going back this way. This unit's in command. And let's see, this unit here. Oh, that's Scott's. However, Wayne could put that artillery piece in command. But Scott's right here. Now, Scott only has a range of 1. So over here, this unit here is out of command. So I got to get an out of command marker here if I have any more. No, I don't. And Lafayette could put that artillery piece in command, but he couldn't put, he wouldn't be able to put, what is this guy doing back here? Guess he was routed and got helped, I guess. This unit here is Lafayette's. So these units are in command by Lafayette. Yeah, let's go on a little further down here. Okay, so Lafayette has these guys in command. This unit there is Maxwell's. That's where Lee's at. Maxwell's way back here. Maxwell's back here. So, but with Lee here, he can actually activate or put in command, I guess, some of these units. So he's got 4. So he can activate, let's see, who's this? Okay, we can remove that. So Lee can use 1 activation point here, which will put these guys are in, but this guy's routing, but and then he can give Lafayette 1. Scott's too far away, so Scott's not going to be activated, but he can activate these other units here. So we can remove this out of command marker here on this unit. And then I'm going to put this blank counter on top of Scott. Because Scott here is too far away to be activated. And Wayne is automatically activated. Wayne is, but Scott's not going to be activated. And of course, neither is Dickinson way over here. So let's put a blank counter on him, so I know they're not activated. So that takes care of that. So he's okay. So he's used two. Lee's used two activation points to activate this unit, this command brigade, Maxwell, and then also Lafayette's. And then he's activated these units here. These two belong to Maxwell. Put them in command and activated them. And also the units that are underneath him. But those are actually Lafayette, so it doesn't really matter. But there you go. All right, next step is the rally phase for the British. So let's start right here. We've got this unit here that's routing. So they've got to move 4. 1, 2, 3. And if they're not able to move the full amount, they get to the edge of the map, they've got to lose a strength point. Okay, so Gray's with this unit. They're disordered. So they're going to recover. To deal with this one. Okay. Let's turn them around. This routed unit's going to move 4. 4. Now this unit is not in the minimum fire zone of this unit, unless okay, if a unit is disordered, let's see. If a unit is disordered, do they have okay, disordered unit retains its current facing and formation. Okay. And then let's see, rally. Okay. Okay, so this unit up here doesn't have Gray's too far away. This is Gray. He's 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so he can't rally that unit. All right. Now we look at this unit here is routing, but let's see here. Okay, yeah, they got to be stacked with these routed units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That unit went right to the edge. Okay, but doesn't lose a strength point yet. I don't think, let's see, we go back up here. Yeah, a unit recovers from disorder if it does not occupy a hex in the minimum fire zone. So yeah, okay. But of course, the leader's got to be close enough. So he's in a minimum fire zone. Oops. Oops. All right, so he can rally this unit that's stacked with him. And then he's got 6 activation points. So here's 1, 2, 3. Those are all within his range. Okay. This unit removes 1, 2, 3, and then of course it's going to lose a step because it couldn't go 4. It went also to the edge here. The British have a lot of units that are disintegrating. Okay. So Clinton will, 1, 2, 3. Okay, he can rally this guy. All right, and then over here, Los. Well, we'll just start this way first. We got to get this guy going. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he goes to here. All right. Erskine's rallying this here. Of course, they go to disorder. Yep, turn him around. All right, Cornwallis rallies this one. And of course, Cornwallis can rally that one. And then Los rallies this unit. Oh, wait a minute. That's not actually his unit. So I don't know that he can rally him. Let's see if we go back over here. Well, it just says that a leader may rally a friendly unit with which it is stacked. Okay. But he can't get it out of disorder. Well, I guess he could if he stays stacked with it. Okay. And this unit here is too far away from Cornwallis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, all right, so that takes care of that. See if I can extend a little bit here. Maybe get a little closer. that. There we go. Okay. Now we go to the March phase. So in the March phase, you have the option of before you move, changing formation or facing. All right. So over here, these guys are they're not activated. So if they're not activated, so they can't enter an enemy minimum fire range zone, use grand tactical movement, or initiate shock. Okay. So this unit, though, they can change their facing. This unit here that's disordered. Oh, well, there's the no activation right there. But there's nobody under him. What happened here? What happened to that unit? I guess he would have went back here with this guy. So he would have been in command. He's just not activated. So that means this guy up here is not in command. Yeah. So, okay, so they're going to turn that, change their facing. And all they can do is move into that hex there. No activation. This unit here is just going to turn like so. All right, over here. Let's see, this unit here is going to turn and go right there. Oh, tell you what, they want to go there. Get into that flank. Okay. They're going to stay like they are. They're going to stay like they are. Scott's units over here, not activated. Or just stay like they are. This unit here, who's disordered, is going to move up 1, 2. So he's going to move up here with this unit. Well, he needs to change formation first. This guy's got to change formation. Okay. This unit's going to change formation to line. This unit's changing formation to line. Change back to line. Go to line. He goes to line and then turns as his movement. This guy goes to line and then turns using a movement point. Maxwell, well, he's got to stay with that guy. Okay. Lafayette's got to move back here to save that guy. And then Lee has got to move over there to try to rally that guy. So we had this artillery piece here that we could have ventured out to take. We'd have to come from the side here. So that's what we do. That guy goes through there. And he doesn't get to fire on him because his fire zones are here, not in his flank. All right, so that takes care of that, except Dickinson. He's got to move over here. So he was here, that's one. 2 across the stream, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes over there. All right. Next. Okay, artillery fire. So let's roll to see who gets to fire first. And I got a 1, so it means the British get to fire first. And they are going to fire with this unit here. Now, let me see here. It doesn't say anything in the rules about being able to change your facing. That can only be done during your march phase. So they need to get a fire into something here, and they're going to fire at this unit here because it's at the closer range. That's the minimum fire zone for an artillery unit. So strength of 2. Rolled a 6. Okay, they're in line. Okay, they're in line. Okay, so that's a D/R. And they rolled a 6 for morale. Of course, they fail. So they're going to route 3 axes away. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so now we have to, and this, I don't know if I've been doing this like I should, is this is the hex, okay, that the unit was in. Now, all the adjacent hexes have to check their morale. So this unit here has lost 2, and also they're disordered, so they automatically route. they have a 0. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Now their routing doesn't cause other units to route. It's only in the initial one. Okay, so now we have to roll for this unit. They've taken 2 losses, so they have a morale, instead of a 3, they have a morale of only a 1. And so they're going to be disordered. Okay, and then this unit here has lost 1. So their morale, instead of being 3, is a 2. And they also disorder. I don't believe I've been doing that like I should. All right, so now we go over to the Colonials, and they have this unit here. And they are going to fire on this unit. So range of 1, 2, 3. That's going to be, I believe that's medium. Yeah, medium range. Strength of 2. They're firing at artillery. Medium range. Okay. So it's going to be right here. All right, rolled a 5. That's going to be a disorder. Which is going to help. But of course, the unit, because they're being attacked in the flank, this artillery unit would be already disordered. So they're going to have to do a morale check, I think, when it comes time for that. Well, that guy's on top. What's he on top of that artillery piece? Well, he is, so I'll leave him there. Okay, so now we have the British get to fire again. So their next one is that one. And they will try to silence those guns right there. So the strength of 2, minimum, medium fire range. Okay, got a 6. 2, 6. And that's another artillery unit. That's a disorder. So that's gonna maybe help there with that. Oh, I thought there was another artillery piece here. Oh yeah, right here. That just got disordered. Well, they're going to fire back on that same artillery. Well, tell you what, they want to fire over here. 1, 2, 3. That's unit in line there. They got a 1. That's no effect. Okay. So now we go to this artillery unit. They want to fire at this stack here. This artillery unit. It's already disordered. So this is their target. Range is medium. Strength of 2. Rolled a 3. Why? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, that's going to be a morale check. They're disordered. So they've got a 2. So they passed. Okay. They're going to fire back on, let's see. How about they're going to fire on this unit? Okay. They rolled a 1, no effect. Okay, so that's all the British artillery. There's a gun there. They don't have a target. This unit, though. Well, yeah, they do have a target. A unit right there in front of them. This unit. Disordered unit there. And so okay, that's minimum fire range. Units in line, but it's light. Ooh, they got a 6. A 6 is a D or an R. They rolled a 1, so they're going to pass. Well, no, wait a minute. Okay, DR, and they're already disordered. So that means they make a morale check. Make a morale check and apply the appropriate result. So they rolled a 1. So when they're already disordered and they get another disorder, they've got to lose a strength point. So there we go. All right. Now this unit is going to fire here. Right where Clinton's at. All right, so that's light, but they're in column. So 2, 3 medium range. Ooh, got a 6. Okay, that's a DR. Of course, they failed, so they're going to rout. And I've got to roll for Clinton. No. So they're on the run here. Oh, shoot. Dadgummit. So they were here. 1, 2, 3. They're going to route back to there. And okay, so that's all of the artillery. So now we go to the infantry fire. I rolled a 1, so that means that the British get to fire first. And this unit's facing the wrong way. So they want to fire first with this one. They're going to fire here. They have to get a 6. No, I got a 5. All right, so we'll just stay here. This guy can fire here, strength of 4. Rolled a 1. And that's light. No effect. All right. See, the only other one that the British have, it's going to be way over here. And it's going to fire there. So, 1, 2. Infantry, but they're disordered. So they're firing from here. And unit in line. Ooh, got a 6. That's going to be a morale check, and they're going to fail. So they're going to be disordered. Okay. Then this, well, okay, so now this unit here can fire at this unit. And it's not the flank, because it's going down this hex spine between the front and the flank. But it's still a strength of 5. Strength of 5. They rolled a 1. And let's see, that's a cavalry, so no effect. Okay. So then we move it to here.
Don't give her any more food, because I put that
Oh, yeah.
medicine on there.
All right. So we've got the dragoons. They're going to fire on that disordered unit. That's 2 X's away. That's maximum. Strength of 6, though. Puts it over here in line. Ooh, got a 6. That's going to be a disorder. They're already disordered. So they're going to lose a strength point, make a morale check, which they fail. They rolled a 5. So they're going to rout. So we've got to check for these other units and put that there. I might have to make another route marker. Do I have one? I don't think so. Nope. All right, so they just route it this way. 1, 2, 3. But they have to lose a step. So they're destroyed. They're eliminated. But we still have to roll for this unit's morale. Roll a 5, so they're going to disorder. Okay. Now we go to a shock. One shock we have right here. Both of them are disordered. But this unit is being a shock attacked in its rear. I mean, in its flank. So it's got to roll for its morale. Rolled a 4. And they are going to be eliminated. They rout. So the gun crew can rout, I guess, away. 2, 3. And then when this unit moves in, this battery is captured. So they move in, can turn, change their facing. All right. So now we move over to right here. This Wayne unit here, the 9th Pennsylvania, is going to attack. They're going to shock here. Okay, so that unit has a chance to fire defensive fire. They're disordered, so it's automatically in this first column. They rolled a 1, which is going to be no effect. All right, so now, let's see. This unit has got a strength of only 2. You know what? This unit is not eliminated yet. Way over here on the Maxwell's unit is not eliminated yet. He had 2 strength points, so he only loses 1. So that's going to be right over here. I'll put him back on right here. He was here, got fired on, and was ended up routing. So I don't know if they could have possibly given you a few more of these morale markers. I know it's a magazine game, but, you know, it's just, you know, these extra counters I have didn't come with the game. They came from another game. I think they probably came from, well, no, they're not big. Are they big enough? No, they're not big enough for, this, the GMT game. They came from somewhere else. if I didn't have those, what would I be doing? I'd have to be, well, I'd have to use I'd have to be using these little things. Plastic disc, colored disc. All right, so let's get back over here. I'm used to when I put counters for casualties, I'm counting up, okay? And in this game, you're to count down. So when a unit has a 5 underneath it, it means it still has 5 strength instead of 5 casualties. So that's just the way I usually do casualties. Is I just count up, and then I subtract it from the top, the unit itself. Okay, so no effect there. So now we have strength of 4 against a strength of 2. So that's going to be 200%. And so this unit has lost 1 strength and they're disordered. So that's -3 to their morale. So they have a morale of 2. We've got a morale of 3 here. So that's a +1. So we've got plus Wayne is adjacent. So that's another added. Let's see. I think it only adds 1 though. Let's see. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, just a +1. Stacked with or adjacent to a friendly leader. Oh, wait, that's a morale modifier. But let's see, shock modifier. I guess it doesn't. I thought a leader. Let me go over to the shock side here. Maybe not. I guess it doesn't. I guess he's just for morale. But he does add a morale mark. So so a plus. He gets a +1 on his morale. So he has a 4. So okay, it's going to be a +2. So it does play into combat by giving a morale boost. So okay, so 200%, and then we're a +2. Oh, rolled a 1. Okay, so a loss and a DR to the defender. So 1 step loss for the colonial unit. This unit has a DR. Now they're already disordered. So they lose a strength point and retreat 3 hexes. So now they've only got 1 strength. 1, 2, 3. Still disordered. And then this unit moves in there. Like that. Okay. Then over here, we've got this unit here attacking this unit. Now he's getting attacked into the flank, so the first thing he has to do is he's got to roll for morale. Okay, he rolled a 3, and so he's going to rout. And so, oops, he goes here, and then when he routes further from there, he gets fired on by this unit, who's disordered. But he's firing into his flank. Got a 4. He's disordered. That's going to be a morale check, which he's going to lose. So he just retreats further. I would say he's going to have to lose a strength point. So he would lose 2 strength points. Because he's already riding. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and of course this guy moves in here and can turn. And they don't have to have the disordered markers because colonials were well accustomed to fighting in the brush. So, all right, so that takes care of the colonial turn. Now we move to the British phase. So they have a lot of units that are routing. All right, so Gray, I think he's going to be out of command. He's not in act. They're in command, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's going to be not activated. Put that there. So these guys up here are going to be out of command. This guy's in command. And of course, these guys are going to be in command. Clinton, that has 6. He can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus this unit he's stacked with. So, okay. So we've got everything taken care of. And let's see here. We got Erskine underneath here. And Cornwallis can put him in command. And he could, doesn't need to, but Erskine can be in command too from Cornwallis activated. So six. Okay. Now we go to the colonial rally. Okay, start over here. These units. Okay. They're not within range of Dickinson to rally, so these guys are not going to be able to rally. Okay, this unit here is going to go to disorder. And let's turn it around. Okay, here, this is Wayne's. No, Scott's. So okay, they can rally. Let's take this off now. This unit can rally. Take that off. So over here, Lafayette 1, 2, 3. He can remove that. 1, 2, 3. He can remove this one. And then he can rally this unit. And then over here, Lee can rally this unit. Rally this unit here. Maxwell is going to rally this unit. This unit here would have to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these guys here have to move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. All right. Now we have the march phase. So over here, first thing we want to do is flip this over to line. So not activated. He'll stay where he's at, and this gray will move over here to rally this unit. Okay. Not much they can do about these guys. This one's already lost 3. It's going to lose another one too. Yeah, Clinton's going to have to. He's going to have to pick and choose what he wants to do here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll go to there. This unit here, disordered unit, light. It's only got 1 strength left. One, 2. One, 2, 3, 4. Costs 2 to get across that stream hex. I got to get Arcsign up here to these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he goes to there. This guy here is going to turn and go 1, 2. This guy's going to go 1, 2. This unit here is going to turn, is going to formation line. Turn, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an independent unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Los is going to move up here. Let's see what Los is going to have to. This one is. Yeah. He's going to come over here to rally this unit. Cornwallis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who do we got here? He's only got one left. 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then these two guys. This is Los, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an independent. 1, 2. Oh, shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got to find out what this was back here. Oh, it's a 5. Okay. Don't think I can pick that up right there. I'll get it later. Okay, now let's roll to see who's going to get to fire first. 2, that's going to be the Colonials. So, of course, they're going to start over here with these guys. Because they're not on here, that blocks their vision. So they don't have anybody to fire at. So I'd have to go to the next one, which for them is going to be this unit here. So guess he's going to try to silence these guns here. Got a 6. And that's medium. So that's going to be a disorder. So these guns are disordered. And they're actually the unit that's going to fire back. Except they're going to fire at this unit here. They're disordered. A 4. That's a morale check. They rolled a 1 and they passed. Okay, so next Colonial Artillery is this unit. And it's going to fire on this target here and try to silence those guns. Rolled a 4. That's medium. And a 4 is a morale check, and they fail. So those guns are going to be disordered. All right. They're firing on this unit again. this disordered artillery unit here. Oh, they got a 6. That's a disorder. So I gotta put that big one on there. Put this one on here. Put that one over. Come here. Put that route marker back there. Okay. All right, so the next artillery would be this unit. So I can fire at this disordered unit here. This one can too. So we're firing at that unit. It's a light. That's close range. 5. Minimum fire range. And that's light. It's a morale check. They rolled a 3, so they're gonna rout. But they're already disordered, so they have to lose a strength point. So they're gone. They're eliminated, which is going to cause. Oops. Which is going to cause this unit to do a morale check. He did a 4, and he's lost 2, so that's a 4, so he passes. Not by much, though. Okay, now we go to this artillery unit. They're going to fire at this unit again. Okay. 2. And yeah, he's in line. That's a morale check. He rolled a 4, so he's going to fail. So he's going to rout. Which now causes all of these guys to have to check their morale. 1, 2, 3. Well, hold on there. Yeah. Because he rolled a 4. And even with Scott there, well, Scott it was a casualty, so he's got actually a 0 there, so it didn't help. Okay. All right, so let's check. This unit has to check their morale. Rolled a 4. Okay, so they stayed. This unit has to check their morale. Rolled a 2, so they stayed. Their actual morale is actually just a 3 now. So, okay. That's it for that. Now we go to the infantry fire. And again, we rolled a 2. So, that means the Colonials get to fire first. And they want to fire right here first. Okay. So, let's see. They have a strength of 3. Ooh, they rolled a 6 against line. That's going to be a disorder. That unit fires. It's offensive. It's offensive fire. I rolled a 4. That unit's in line. and that's no effect. That's because they were disordered. So, okay. Now, we go over here to this. And so, colonial gets to fire first. They're disordered. And they're going to fire. Those are both light. It doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of. Well, let's go with the middle one. That one there. Strength of 4, but he's disordered. Ooh, rolled a 5 though. He's in light, and a 5 is not good enough. Okay. So we're gonna fire with. Yeah, we're gonna fire with that one. He's not in his flank, so it's just 3 against line. Rolled a 1, no effect. Okay. The only other colonial that has any range will be that unit over there. Of course, he's going to fire. Let me pull back. Okay. So that's here. Firing here at this dragoon. Okay, that's already disordered. So strength of 5. Of the 3 maximum. No effect. Okay. So then we can come back to here where we have 2 more units here to fire. So I don't know why I didn't turn this unit. Turn that one. Okay, so strength of 3. A 5. Strength of 3. That's going to be right there. Rolled a 5. That's a morale check. And they fail with a 6, so they're going to rout. I just have to route right through somebody here. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. They get pushed a little further. Disorder that unit. Okay. And then over here we've got this, they're out of command though, so they can't fire. They don't have that option. Okay. And let's see. We only have really 1 opportunity for shock. I don't think we want to take it, this unit here. Basically just 1-to-1. Well, he better go ahead because he's going to get pounded. So we'll go ahead with this. He does get to fire on him though. That's the issue. That's shock. He's going to fire, but okay. So here's the target. Here's the attacker. And so the defender gets to fire. And he rolled a 3. minimum. Roll to 3, and that's no effect. Okay, so then we go to the shock, and they have a strength of 3. He's got a strength of 4. -2 here for disordered, so his morale is a 4, but he's lost 2 strength points. So now he's down to a morale of 2. He's lost 1, so his morale is a 2. So it's even. And strength point wise, it's even. So we're looking at 100% and plus 0. Okay, got a 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we have the defender's disordered, and the attacker does a DR. So he loses a strength point and retreats 3 X's. And the defender is only disordered. So one, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so that's the 12-20 turn. And if we look, the British, their right flank, or right wing, you might say, is kind of disintegrated. And Wayne should really be pushing, probably should try to really push hard to attack these units over here. And we could leave these batteries, as anything approaching them is going to get blasted. If they can hold off the British push over here, which is not very that strong because of the disordered units, and they've got their leaders back here trying to rally troops. So they're not really able to do any attacking due to that, except for right here that they did. But now, this next turn, most of these units are going to be out of command. So this would be a good opportunity for Wayne. But they can only move so fast, and they've got this stream in front of them. Of course, the woods cost 3 to move through. So about all they could do is get a push here. If Scott but Scott only has his replacement only has a range of 1, so he could activate this one. But that's about it. But Wayne's got 3 units here. Well, he's got 2 in this disorder unit. He just didn't have the forces to do an effective counter attack. But they've held the line pretty well. But the British didn't have their artillery till later, due to the fact that the scenario just left the artillery out. They only had for the whole scenario, they only had 1 unit. So we're talking about just a couple of guns. Until I got to thinking and reading up and finding out, well, heck, they've got to have more artillery than that. How do you have artillery duels if you only have 2 guns? And it's like, okay, why did the colonials not just blast them with their artillery if the British didn't have any guns to counter battery? So, anyways, you would think the British, with the higher morale, would have ran right over these colonials. But Lafayette's units have pretty good, have decent morale at a 3, better than the 2s. That most of them are the 1s. That you've got the militia over here only have a 1. But even the units that Wayne is with, they only have a 2, but he gives them a +1. Or actually, let's see, does he get? I guess he doesn't give the +2. He just gives the +1. Let's see. Yeah, just a +1, no matter how good a leader they are. So, but that's where we're at with SPI. And like I've said, I like the system. I think the counters would have to do a really hard redo. The map's not bad. Of course, a 1980 map. It's easy to distinguish what's what. So, okay, so excuse me, we'll be back with the next turn, which I guess could be the last turn. I've got to roll here to see if there's fatigue. And guess what? 66 means there's fatigue, which means you bypass the next turn. And that also means certain units are going to recover. So that would put us into the 1 o'clock turn. So I guess we could wrap it up right there. But with the fatigue, let me go over here to it. What happens is, let's see here, fatigue. Okay, so routed and disordered units that are not isolated, nor in an enemy minimum range fire zone, automatically rally when a game turn is skipped. So it says routed units do not need leaders to rally. So that means all of these units back here I guess these units that are with the leader could go fully recover. It's not what it says, but I would say that's what they do. So we would remove a lot of this. So this kind of gives the British new life here, and the fact that they don't have to worry about all their routed units. So we got that cleared out. And then if we go over here, we've got the same thing. We get to remove that, move this. Oops. Okay. So, put this over here. Let's pull back. We're going to see both of these. All right. Now, to do this better, let's pull this back. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be pretty close. All right. So, ouch. All right. So here's Monmouth. Here's Monmouth. So let's put this here. That's where Monmouth Courthouse is. That's where Monmouth Courthouse is. So as you can see, the British have Monmouth Courthouse. And we've got this East Morass here. Okay, that's this here. Okay. And so the British have pushed a little bit further past that in GMT. But SPI, they're still holding that line there. And on the GMT, the British are still pretty strong. They don't have units that were pushed back. But in both, the colonials were able to do a fairly good job of holding the line and not be put in a full retreat. There is some units here that were countermarching. We had some that countermarched way back, and here they are right here. They almost left the map. And I guess countermarching over here would be some of these units that were, forced to retreat because of their low morale. But pretty similar results in both these games. I think is the the game would progress from here, the Colonials would be forced to move back. Maybe slowly, but at least be forced to move back, just due to the superior morale of the British forces, especially with the SPI. And I think sheer number wise, let's see, we just had a couple of eliminated units here, while on this side we had, let's see, so both armies lost a battery, and then the British lost 3 strength points of light infantry. And of course, we've got lots of other losses that we'd have to count up. But I think the British probably have more losses on their side than the Colonials do. It might be pretty close. I'd have to count it up to see. But I think we have some fairly equal results in these two games. And so, I like both games. I like the more close-in tactical aspect of this one. This one here, you're not worried about column or line or anything like that. And you don't really have facing on this one. I kind of like that with a tactical game. I like the facing part. And the combat, I think, is a little bit more bloody over here than it is over here. So you don't have you don't have individual losses. You have where you flip the counter, take a loss, they flip. If they have another side, they become weaker instead of individual losses. So if you want, I guess, a more simpler tactical game, it's this, okay, the GMT. Due to the fact that you don't have to worry about formations and you're not worried about facing, how a unit is facing. Because, and the other thing is, the only individual fire, you're going to have artillery fire and then you have rifle fire. Well, not very many units are rifle units. Otherwise, you're just performing what is called shock, which could be just firing, close range firing. They consider that shock. While over here, you've got the artillery fire, both sides firing, and this is in 20 minutes. So both sides fire. So in an hour, your artillery is going to fire twice a turn. Once during their turn, once during their opponent's turn. And in an hour, so they're going to fire 6 times. They're going to have opportunity for 6 barrages. And infantry, same thing. They're going to have 6 opportunities to fire. And not only that, they're going to have, in an hour, they'd have 3 opportunities for shock as an attacker. While over here in the GMTs, you're only going to get, in an hour, you're only going to get to fire your artillery 1 time. Because each turn is an hour. And you only fire defensively. You don't get offensive artillery fire. And same thing with your rifles. You'd only get one attempt with that, and one attempt at shock. One is a defender, one is a attacker. So actually, you could say two shock possibilities, but as an attacker, So I guess you could say that's two, one during, but you don't get the rifle. Let's see. I don't think you get the rifle fire in both. Let's see. Oh no, both players conduct rifle fire. So you would get 2 opportunities per hour to fire rifle units. But that's only against units that you're adjacent to. So, yes, this is going to be a lot faster game. One thing is, each turn is an hour, and you're going to have limited opportunities to accomplish something. While over here, you're going to get a lot more opportunities to attack, to fire your artillery, so forth. So, tactical wise, this is I guess more of a grand tactical maybe. And this over here is more like a strategic tactical game. No, I like the series, but I'm more of a formation facing tactical player. I like to play the down in the dirt. You're right there amongst the balls flying and all the smoke, groaning and yelling in agony, hearing the commands of the different leaders and so forth. So, I wish there was more of these SPI, American Revolution battles, done with this system. Of course, with the great battles of American Revolution, you've got, I think they're up to 11 volumes now, I think. 10 or 11. So you've got, a wide variety of battles to play through and experience. So, and really, there's not another system that is covered as much of the American Revolution as GMT's system here. So you're kind of limited in your options when looking for a tactical system concerned with the American Revolution. Maybe another company will come up with a game. I don't know why they couldn't use something very similar to this. I think it works really well. It could really work well with Kings Mountain, Camden, even the Battle for Quebec. You could even do the Valcourt Island. It would work with Saratoga. It would work with any of the American Revolution battles, this system that SPI created. Let's see here. Let's get the. So what is the credits? get our recognition here to the people that deserve it. There we go. So here we go. Game design, David G. Martin, Leonard Millman, Eric Lee Smith. Physical system graphics, Redmond Simonson. Game development, Eric Lee Smith. Rules editing, Bob Ryer. So there's the people to give credit to for this wonderful grand tactical American Revolution battle system. And then with the GMT, that was Miklos. See if I can find the credits for. Oh yeah, here we go. Mark Miklos, Andy Lewis, Roger McGowan, Mark Simonich. So, should give a shout out to those guys for that, the wonderful system we have with GMT, which is, in my opinion, is the best American Revolution system available. You know, one reason because no one else is done justice to the American Revolution like they have. And possibly if SPI would have hung around longer, they would have possibly done some more of these. I just like that system. I think it works. You can see that we got similar results. But of course, I had to make some modifications here to the scenario. I had to make some adjustments on where units were set up. And of course, then I also had to add British units to make the forces resemble what GMT had. So I had to make some changes here. I didn't make any changes on the GMT side. So if you're looking for a interesting grand tactical American Revolution system, take a look at the Battle of Monmouth. You can pick it up fairly cheap. It's just a magazine game. I had mine. I think I've got one that's not even punched. So I've got this one and I've got another one. And so I know you can get it on eBay. You can get it at Noble Knight Games. So check that out.
Jason.